I have received parts of this message over the last month or so, and I'm finally putting it together into kind of one thing. And what I've realized is that if you follow these 4 principles that I'm going to talk about, if you follow these 4 things and really incorporate them into your life, it will change your entire reality. And even if you do this for like a couple days, you'll notice changes in your life. Also, if you stick to this for like 21 days, I can guarantee you're going to see like a huge change in your life. I've seen it with my clients, I've seen it in myself. So I wanted to share this with you guys. So I hope it helps. First thing is, number 1, understanding that you create your own reality. And I'm sure you guys have heard this, especially with this new age metaphysical wave that's going on. I'm sure you've heard of the law of attraction and creating your own reality and all of that. But what that really means is that your thoughts, your emotions, and your actions are actually what's creating your experience, the reality that you're living in. And what I mean by that is every thought that you think creates form, and every emotion that you have vibrates it into being. So your thoughts, your beliefs, and your actions are really the components of what make up your reality and what you're creating around you. And there's something called the observer effect in quantum theory that shows how the observer, meaning you, if you were to look at molecules, it actually has an effect on how these subatomic particles take form by the way that you observe them. And so that right away shows you that you have a huge impact on your experience in the physical world around you. And if you want to get really, really in depth and super esoteric, I mean, everything is really holographic in nature. What we're experiencing is more of a dream than you'd think it is. And if you can actually kind of understand that and really grasp that, it's a huge piece of the puzzle. So consciousness actually influences quantum mechanics. It actually changes the form, the shapes, and the way things are perceived in your reality just by observing them. And then the second thing that's really important to understand, to acknowledge, and accept is that you're not a victim. Things are not happening to you. Things are happening through you, and they're happening for you. And it's really important that you own this. You really, really acknowledge that. And a lot of people struggle with this one because we've kind of been conditioned to live in a space of feeling bad for ourselves, being a victim, and it's tough to kind of break that cycle when so many people have been living in that. It becomes your identity. It kind of becomes all that you know, all that you're really aware of is this victim personality that you've created for yourself, is that you're not a victim. You actually are very powerful, and you have the ability to change your experience when you own it. When you own what you have been creating, when you own what you've been experiencing, and you stop pointing fingers at other people, and you stop blaming people for what you're going through and what you're experiencing, because ultimately it's in your control to change what you're experiencing. If someone's not treating you the way that you want to be treated, it's just an opportunity for you to set a boundary and to speak your truth and to be authentic. Everyone in our experience, every relationship that we have is a gift. It's a gift to see ourselves more clearly, to see into ourselves. It really is, because everyone in your reality is a mirror reflecting back to you who you are, what you believe about yourself, what you think about yourself. And if you can see those opportunities for growth, and if you can see those opportunities to really improve yourself and to really get a clearer picture as to who you are and how you've been operating, you can use that to really propel yourself. But if you continue to live in a space of things are happening to you or people are doing things to you, you're really giving away your power. You're really losing the whole purpose of life here, which is to create your own reality. The thing is too, you can't change what you don't accept. So that's really the first step, is to accept that you're not a victim, you're not powerless, and you're not out of control. You have the ability to change what you're experiencing and what you're going through. And you just have to accept it all, the good, the bad, the ugly, every little bit of it. And in fact, the perceived bad parts or the negative things that happen to us have a positive side. Everything negative that you experience, that you perceive as negative, has a positive aspect to it if you choose to see it that way. And it's all up to you whether you decide to see the positive side or not. And that's really where the shift occurs in our lives, is when we choose to see the other side of the coin. And that leads me into number 3. So number 3 is, if you can change your beliefs, you can change your reality. And our beliefs are really just the thoughts that we think over and over and over again. And I've talked a lot about this on my channel, if you followed me, is that our beliefs are what we've kind of taken on as children, as young adults, usually up until the age of 7. They're kind of this role that we have been told to play, this identity that we've kind of been shaped and told that we need to be, and we've just assumed it. Well, now as an adult, it's your opportunity to question all of those beliefs. Question every single thing that you have been told to believe about yourself. Question everything. Question the media. Question your teachers. Question your friends. Question everything and choose for yourself. Stop letting people tell you who you're supposed to be and how you're supposed to be. It's time for you to decide that. And there are really 3 steps here when you're trying to change your belief systems that I like to use. First is identification. So let's say you're trying to create something, or you're trying to change something in your reality. What's your but I can't? What's the part of you that tells you that you can't? What's the part of you that is limiting that limiting voice that you have? That will give you a pretty clear indication as to what your belief is around that situation. And if you can understand the belief and if you can identify it, you will see where you have been blocking yourself. Because it's always you. It's always about you. It's never anyone else. It's never anything outside of you. It is always you. What have you been telling yourself about that relationship? Are you telling yourself you're not deserving, you're not worthy, you're not enough, you're not pretty enough, smart enough, good enough? Or about that job, you don't have enough credentials, you haven't gone to school long enough, you haven't done enough to deserve that success? What are you telling yourself about this thing that you want in your life? And that will give you a clear indication as to what your belief is around that. So number 1, you want to identify. Number 2, recognize how that belief has created your reality thus far. And this goes back to really owning it. So if you can understand the reality, if you can look around your experience, your reality that you're living in right now, and observe it, think about what you have thought so far about yourself and about your life that has now created your current experience. Chances are you'll see correlations, you'll see parallels, you'll start to understand that you have been creating this all along throughout what you believe to be true. And again, it's not your fault, so there isn't like a judgment layer that we want to put on this. There's no judgment. It's really just about acceptance and awareness. Acceptance and awareness is what liberates. It's what sets you free. It's what changes your experience. So no judgment. Really just acknowledge that you were unaware, that you didn't know, and it's not your fault. And then we move along. It's just identifying and accepting and recognizing how it's been creating your experience so far. And then the third step to that is replacing it with a new belief. Replacing it with a belief that actually serves you. let's say you want to get into a relationship that's more fulfilling for you. What do you have to believe to be true about yourself in order to manifest that, to create that? I mean, you have to believe that you're worthy, right? You have to believe that you're lovable. You have to believe that you're awesome, you're a great catch. You have to believe certain things about yourself before you can attract that thing. So that's really what it's all about, is awareness and recognition of what you're going to have to now believe about yourself to be true, to have the thing that you want to have. And so you implement this new belief about yourself, right? I am deserving of the relationship that I desire. I am worthy of having success and abundance in my life. I am worthy of joy and bliss just because I exist, just because I'm here. I am worthy. And if you can really implement these new beliefs, and every day, like, write down what I do, I'll write down in my journal every day the things that I affirm to be true about my life. You have to kind of be able to think greater than you feel. Think greater than what you can see and perceive, and that's how you change. You have to stop looking at what is, stop giving your attention to what is, and start believing and affirming what you want to be true. Because when you start affirming these things to yourself, your subconscious mind takes these in. It believes this to now be true for you, and it will give you things in your reality to observe, to validate that new belief that you have. So you'll start seeing things that are congruent with your belief that you have created now, this new belief that you've assumed. And you have to also believe that by implementing the new belief, it's going to change. It's going to create a new life experience for you, because it will. And all of this just goes back to believing. Belief, belief, belief. Believe it. Moving into the fourth aspect of this, if you can really grasp this, it will change your life, and that is to follow what excites you. Follow your passion, the thing that you wake up in the morning, that you think about, that creates this fire within you, this desire, this passion. That's what you should be doing. That is where you should be placing your attention and your focus. That is it. That's the key. That is the key. And if you don't know what excites you and you don't know what your passion is, think back to when you were a child. What are some things that you used to do as a kid that really excited you, that you did, that made you really happy? Think of something that you do that when you do it, time flies by. That you look down at your clock or your watch and you're like, holy crap, it's been 3 hours. Those are the things that get you into what I call the receptive mode. And the receptive mode is this really beautiful flow with the universe. You're connected to divine, you're connected to source energy, and you receive guidance, you receive intuition, how to move forward. Abundance just starts flowing in. You start making connections and meeting new people, and things just start to align. And you get into this really amazing space of just flowing with the universe. And that is the sweet spot. When you can get into that, when you're doing your passion and you're living from your heart space, you will find this incredible ease and connection with life that you've never experienced before. And I'm telling you, when you can really tap into that thing that lights your soul on fire, your life will change so drastically and so for the better. I can promise you that.